There you go.
Hey everyone, it's Nicki Bullard. I am coming to you today. Um, it's June 3rd of 24, and we wanted to talk real quick just about some of the fun things that are coming out in Scentsy World. So summer collections here, and it's amazing if you haven't looked at it. There's bars, there's the cutest turtle warmer ever. We have never had such a cute turtle warmer. There is the mermaid neck pillow, which I think is amazing. And then the seashell to hang. I'm not one that wants to hang like a random buddy on my purse, but if it's a seashell or like the fluffy pink thing, I'm totally in. And then new cleaners, which is smells summery and fabulous. So sell 20 of them and you are in for this month on the incentives. So 20 is super easy. If you sell the collection, that counts as 5. So you just sell a couple collections and you're golden. Order some cleaner for your house and for your customers, make some samples. Super amazing. And then I love the flowers, the colored flowers. They're so cute and summery. And I'm sure they smell amazing. The 5, if you haven't smelled the summer collection yet, it's incredible. You should totally smell it. And I was just telling Sarah, it's one of our best collections. I'm not usually a big fan of our collections, and this one's amazing. I think I would warm all of them. So if you haven't smelled it yet, you should. And if you haven't sold it to your customers yet, you should. And you should make samples because they're super good. So today we're going to talk about networking. Let me just get my notes pulled up. And this is going to sound so odd, but I have fallen in love with networking and with meeting other people. And sorry, it's giving me weird little things. Didn't used to be that person. So if you're like, oh, she's got it and I don't, you're 100% wrong. I did not used to have it. I did not used to love networking. I did not love to talk to people. I did not love any part of any of it. But the more I've done it, the more I have fallen in love with networking, and the more I love to go to networking events and meet people and talk to people and be involved with people. But it did not start off that way. One of my very first Scentsy events way back 19, 18 years ago, I got forced to talk in front of people, and I would have thought it was going to be death. And it was the worst thing ever. And my upline forced me all of a sudden with no warning to talk. And I was like, gonna die. And I didn't. And it wasn't that bad. And I did a training and it wasn't that bad. And I actually really, really liked it. So since then, I'm pretty good at networking, and I kind of play a game in my head. Like I'm going to meet 5 people. I'm going to get Scentsy brought up 3 times. Like it's a challenge to me now. And I think it's hilarious when I'm with my friends because they laugh because I can bring up Scentsy in any conversation. And to me, it's like a huge challenge. So challenge yourself to bring up Scentsy however you can bring up Scentsy. But networking with people just means meeting new people and involving yourself with new people. And I wanted to talk about a few things that I do that helps me a whole bunch. So we joined a local chamber of commerce. And if you've never gone to a chamber of commerce, you don't have to join. You can go to their meetings. They're a little bit more expensive, like $40 versus $35 or something like that. So look at your local chamber of commerce. I don't go to chamber events expecting a sale, but I guarantee my friends at the chamber, when they think Scentsy, they think me. When they think commercial fire, they think me. We own a fire business also. So I do both of them together. And depending on how the conversation goes, is what business I talk about. But everybody knows that I sell Scentsy and own a commercial fire alarm business. So if you're like going to chamber events and representing a company, represent yourself also. If you're going to events already for another business, like make sure when they think Scentsy, they think you. If a chamber of commerce isn't your style or what you want to do, I Googled like how to meet people, and there's a thing called meetup.com. And that's a great way to meet up with new people and find new groups. And on meetup.com, it was super cool because it was like, what are you into? I'm into gardening. Maybe there's a gardening group. I love to go camping. Maybe there's a camping group. I'm a mom of three. Maybe there's a mom of three group or mom of girls group. Like whatever your jam is or whatever your lifestyle looks like, there's that. I love to drink wine. There's wine groups. I know other people that love to drink soda. In Utah, soda is a big thing, and there's soda groups. So whatever your jam is, I guarantee it's on there. The next thing I did is I Googled networking events near me, and guess how many popped up? A ton. So find a networking event that's really cool and go to it. I go to so many networking events. I meet so many people. So find those events that are near you that you're interested in or that might like fit your world and go to them. On Facebook, there's like city groups. I live in Riverton, Utah. So I typed in events on Facebook in Riverton, Utah, and a ton popped up. So those are events maybe you could do a booth at it. Maybe you could just go meet people. Maybe you could find new friends. Maybe whatever it is. Keep in mind, you're not going to every event to make a sale. You're going to every event to find new friends. By finding new friends, you're adding in new people that's adding in new sales for the future. Possibly you might get a sale and yay, that's a huge win. But if you're not networking and knowing new additional people, you're not going to last very long. I hear all the time, nobody's buying Scentsy. Nobody. Well, it's funny to me that I sold over $2,500 last month, and I got told 3 times by people in my downline, nobody's buying. Nobody. I got 2 new recruits off a random post last month, and I haven't recruited in the longest time. You can ask Sarah. I am always complaining that I don't have recruits. But you know what I did different? I talked about recruiting, and I talked about who wants to sign up, and I talked about the benefits. So if you're the person that is checking the box, nobody's buying Scentsy, you really need to listen to this whole training with a different heart and with a different mindset, because they are buying and they're buying from me. And if you keep saying that they're not buying, then they'll just keep buying from me or anyone else. So find new people, find new additional people to add into your world, find people that you want to talk Scentsy with and add into your world. Fairs and shows are a huge, awesome way of doing networking. I personally don't like fairs and shows, and that's a personal choice. They're just hard for me. But I watch my friends that do fairs and shows, and I'm like kicking myself in the butt. Like, why am I not doing fairs and shows? I should be doing fairs and shows to meet more people. So if you're not comfortable going to a networking group, find a fair and show. Think of all the churches around you and every religion, like Google Catholic churches that surround me, Mormon churches that surround me, Presbyterian churches that surround me. Like there's a ton of religions and there's tons of churches. And as you're driving around, keep your eyes open. They're always putting up like big flyers or banners that say like carnival this weekend. Make sure you're messaging them like, hey, do you have a Scentsy person? I want to be your Scentsy person. How do I get involved in the future stuff? And watch for upcoming things that are coming. In the summer, there's fairs and carnivals in your city. Google your city. I live in Riverton, Utah. Riverton, Utah Fair and Show, Riverton, Utah Carnival, Riverton, Utah, whatever it is. Like Google whatever you can think of and find the events that are coming up and that are happening. My kids are going to this fair right now that was, oh, I guess it was this weekend, but I didn't even know it was happening. Had I known, I probably would have had a Scentsy booth, but I didn't even know it was happening. So you have to plan in advance. And for next year, I've written down this carnival happened on this month. So I need to start planning like in January, February, March, and like getting in there and getting a booth. On Facebook, there's an events tab. Look at that tab and don't look at what your friends are doing. Look at what's happening around you. And if there's something great that you're super into, Then message them and say, hey, are you having vendors? Can I be involved? Do you have a Scentsy person? Get in there, get meeting people. Okay, now, first of all, when you're at a fair and show, this drives me crazy. I love when I walk up to a booth and I'm like totally interested in what they're doing. And they're like, hi, if you need anything, let me know. Don't be that person. If you paid money to be at a booth, you should be like standing up like, hey, how are ya? Have you heard of Scentsy? Oh, you have? Awesome. What's your favorite smell? Like, be involved. But if you're the person that's on your phone and saying, if you need anything, let me know. If you have any questions, I'm here for you. Don't be that person. That's the lamest way to do it. And guess what? You're going to be the person that goes home saying, it wasn't a very good show. I only sold like $5 worth. So don't be that person. There's vendor groups. Just in the search bar, which I know we all know how to do, type vendor groups near me, vendor groups in Utah, vendor groups in whatever state you live in, and find vendor groups. They're constantly posting vendor groups that you, or shows that you could be part of. If you go to a local business often, make sure you're liking their page and watching what they do. Maybe they set up booths, maybe they set up events. Maybe you reach out to them and say, hey, I've noticed that you are doing a vendor event or that you've done them in the past. I'd love to help you set one up. I'd love to be part of it. I'd love to, whatever it is. And maybe you see a place that you love to go and they're just slower than normal. So then that's a great way too. Like, let's set up a vendor event, get more people coming in, and let's get you busier, let's get me busier, let's do all of the things. If you work a job, so this kind of fits in for those of you that always have the, well, I work full-time job, or I have another dime job. I work full-time too. I own a whole nother business and we are freaking busy. So I work full-time too, but don't let that ever be your excuse. That's an awesome blessing that you have 2 jobs. Don't let that be your excuse. So put Scentsy on your desk if it's allowed. Now, don't come at me with like, my boss won't let me put it on my desk. Great. Let's change it then. However you can show Scentsy, do it. If you can't put it on your desk at work, it's fine. Do it other ways. Wear Scentsy clothes. You maybe already have to wear other clothes, and that's fine. Don't do it. Maybe you put a room spray on your desk and you use it when that smelly person walks by. You're not advertising, you're just spraying because people smell bad. Offer to drive to lunch. You and your girlfriends are going to lunch from the office. Make sure your car's clean, but make sure your car smells amazing. And when your friends from the office that you're not allowed to advertise Scentsy at get in your car, guess what you're doing? You're advertising Scentsy. So make sure your car smells good. Make sure your car smell is new and refreshed and whatever, but make sure your car smells good, but offer to drive. Hey, I'll drive today. And they get in and they're like, what is that smell? So that's a great way to advertise at work. Vinyl on your window. I cannot tell you how huge this is for me. Vinyl on the back of my window. I do not get any orders off of it. Well, any orders that I know of off of the back of my car. But what I do get off of it is, hey, I know you. And I'm like, you do? And they're like, yeah, you drive that black Palisade. And I'm like, I do. Instantly, they're like knowing me where they don't know me. I park my car. If there's a drive-through, I park my car right at the end of that drive-through every single time if I'm parking. If I'm at like the coffee shop, Starbucks, McDonald's, wherever I am, I pay attention to where I'm parking and where I'm going to get seen the most. So even though people are not placing orders nonstop on my website, they know me. They feel like they know who I am. They feel like we frequent the same places. So when people do order or do run into me, they're like, I know you. And I'm like, you do. Yay. Samples in a bowl at your office. Maybe you can't have anything smell like anything, but you probably can have samples in a bowl. You probably can have it in your top desk drawer for your friends that do know you sell Scentsy. Hey, new samples in my top desk drawer. Make sure you grab one. However it is you need to do it, get creative. So many people today stand behind excuses. And I find it really amazing because they're so fast to throw the excuses out. Oh, my boss won't let that happen. Okay, do it differently. You own a business, sell your business. However you need to do it that falls in line with the work you're doing, make sure you're doing that, but do it differently. If there's a rule, do it a little bit different. If you think about how businesses have come up with like if you haven't watched that show about Nike, it's called Air, you should watch it because in the NBA, I had to think of what the letters were. In the NBA, shoes that were not white are not allowed. End of story. There's a fine if you do it. And you know what they said? We'll pay the fine. Let's change it. Let's have them be red. You know who they did it for? Michael Jordan, this no-namer. So if you have ever listened to yourself making up all the excuses in the world, well, my boss won't allow that. People at work won't allow that. We can't have smells at the office. Like for real, change it up then. Do it a little bit different. Watch the show Nike or the show Air. They did it different. And guess what happened? Nikes, I now pay like 150 to 200, sometimes more for my kids to have Nikes. We all know who Michael Jordan is. And guess what happened? It changed the whole revolutionary world of Nikes. So do it different. And if you find yourself consistently in your Scentsy business making up an excuse, I would love for you to challenge your own excuse. How can I do that different? I work. I have 3 kids. I own another full-time business. I like whatever your excuse is, find it to be different. And when you're networking, make sure that those excuses are not spewing from your mouth because people full of excuses constantly are spewing excuses and you don't want to be that person. When I'm networking, I'm like saying, hey, I'm Nikki. What do you do? Tell me about you. I'm not the one talking, blah, 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 constantly talking, but I am constantly asking questions. Tell me about what you do. Oh, I am a teacher. Oh, awesome. I sell Scentsy. I have so many teachers that buy Scentsy from me. Like, flip it into Scentsy, asking about them. Tell me more about you. Oh, I have 3 kids at home. Oh, you do? That's awesome. What ages? They tell me, I tell them. We're getting to know each other and we're networking, but I am not the one doing all the talking and I am not the one who is taking up the conversation. So make sure when you're networking, you're asking questions like crazy, but you are not overtaking the conversation. Allergies are kicking my butt and it's drying my throat out. Sorry. If you have kids, play dates at your house and make sure your home smells amazing. So when that mom comes over with little kids to let their kids play together, your house smells incredible. I'm not having to say, oh, by the way, I sell Scentsy. She's walking in being like, oh my gosh, your house smells amazing. What is that smell? Oh, I just put skinny dipping in my warmer and I clean my counter with Squeeze the Day counter clean. I'm glad it smells good. Which one do you think you smell better? So, whatever it is, and then when your kids get older, like I have kids that drive, so their cars are smelling amazing. When their friends come over, their friends are telling me how good their kids or my kids' car smells. Ooh, smell. Yes, you can hear
Sorry,
me.
you cut out for 2 seconds, but now I
Okay,
can hear you again. I could see you moving, but you weren't talking, but I can hear you again. So
okay, good. If you're meeting people at the park, wear Scentsy clothes, bring Scentsy stuff, do anything that can look Scentsy-ish. Maybe you bring samples for the moms at the park. You guys, I made these this morning. Here you go. I've got samples for everyone. Just passing them out. And then wear your Scentsy clothes if you can. Gifts for parties. Every kid is invited to a million bajillion birthday parties. Have stuff on hand. So have backpack buddies on hand. So when your daughter comes home and is like, Mom, April's birthday party is on Friday. I'm so excited. Can I go? You're like, absolutely. Let me give you something for a birthday present. I have backpack buddies on hand. My kids are kind of more teenager style. So we do like car smells, mini fan diffusers, pods, flowers, like whatever fits their age, have those on hand. It's so much better than running to Walmart and buying whatever you're buying at Walmart because you're supporting them and not supporting you. So make sure you're giving gifts for parties. The other excuse is always, I don't know anyone. Sorry, I just can't. So find a class. This is where meetup.com is going to come in to be your friend. Find a class, a workout class, a cooking class, a pottery class, a yoga class, a gardening class, whatever class you're into, find it. Maybe you're like, I already know plenty of people. I don't really want to. Find a class anyways. You need to know more people because if you don't continue to meet more people, your new excuse becomes no one's buying Scentsy. You need to continually add new people into your life of friends, buying Scentsy, just people you know, people you reach out to, people you just check on. I met the cutest lady at the gym the other day. She's so cute. Her husband just died. She started going to this gym. She's really into something, a class I've been taking. So I'm going to reach out to her again where I haven't even talked Scentsy and say, hey, that class is coming up. I'd love to have you go with me. Guess what happens? She goes with me. We become friends. She becomes Scentsy. She becomes selling Scentsy. She becomes using Scentsy, whatever it is. She becomes one of my new people that I'm adding into my list. Volunteering. How many of you guys love animals? How many of you love helping the homeless? How many of you love, I don't know what else you can volunteer for. Maybe it's like special needs. Maybe it's whatever you're into, whatever you love. Volunteer for a cause. Find a cause that you're really passionate about because those other people are really passionate about it too. And I guarantee the more you volunteer, the more you show up, the more they get to know you, the more they need Scentsy, the more they're going to thank you. If I'm the one volunteering and the other person isn't, she's just sitting home going, I don't know anybody. I can't sell anything. No one's buying Scentsy. Guess who they're buying from? Not that person. They're buying from me or from you if you actually like put effort and get out there. I found a quote and it says, you may think the friends you made in high school or college are with you for life, but we lose half of our friends every 7 years. And in your lifetime, you have approximately 396 friendships. I can tell you 2 years ago are not my friends today, or not my same friends today. I have lots of friends from 2 years ago, but you have to put effort into friendships and you can't just know someone and call it a friend and be like, oh, they're not even buying from me. The effort you put into your friendships matter, and reaching out to friends matters, and being part of their world matters. And that's more than Facebook. If she posts like, I'm having a really rough day, and you comment, I'm so sorry, I hope it gets better. That's how your friendship's not going to go too far. But if you like text someone and say, hey, I saw that you're having a really rough day. Do you want to go to lunch? Do you want to meet at the park? Do you want to get whatever it is? Get more involved and be a little bit more. But your friends are going to change. So continue to make friends, because if you were to lose half of your friends today, like, are you content in only having half of what's left? Continue to add friends. Some of my best friends, you guys, right now is a lady. I was at a chamber event and I was sitting next to her and they were talking about golf, and I made a funny comment and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm terrible at golf. I need to take lessons. And she turned to me and she's like, I need to take lessons too. Okay, let's back up. This friend, never in a million years would I be friends with her. She's gorgeous. She's super skinny. She dresses amazing. Her hair's like freaking fabulous. Like, look at me, you guys. I'm not fitting the bill, right? She's not someone I would have thought that we would have been really good friends. And she's one of my very bestest friends today. But we have continued to work together. We have continued to like text each other. We now go to coffee together. Her and my other 3 friends, we've created, like, we call it the Yaya sisterhood. And I love these girls, but they mean the world to me. But I met them randomly at a chamber event. Who would have thought that chamber event would have changed my life, and who like continues to show up for me? If you don't leave your house, I'll hurry. I know we're super close on time. If you don't leave your house, there's social groups online. There's social connect groups, or chambers that you can do online. And being proactive, you've got to reach out to people. You've got to say, get involved in their world that they want to get involved in your world. If your excuse is I'm shy, shy is actually not a thing. Shy is something we hide behind. So if you're shy, be open to new things. Listen for common interests in groups that you're going to join. Even if you stand back for a little bit, be brave and challenge yourself. I'm going to meet one new person. That one new person I met at that event has changed my life. So be brave, meet one new person. If you're shy, you can meet one person. I guarantee shy people can do that. Unshy people would meet 10, so shy people can do one. And put in the effort and go with a friend that's outgoing. Find a me friend that loves to network and loves to be involved, and go with that person. And even if you're just standing there being brave and throwing in one word comments, you're doing more than you were doing. So be brave. There's books about making friends. So if you need to read a book, maybe that would help. Maybe that would be something a little bit different. If you're a reader and you're shy and you're like, I'm going to learn how to make new friends, absolutely. There's podcasts also that are fabulous. Go to places that bring you joy and find people that bring you joy. The chamber events bring me joy. I love the chamber events. That day, one of my bestest friends was sitting up on the panel talking, and I was sitting all by myself, and I kind of hate that. And then I sat next to the pretty girl, and we ended up being the bestest of friends. You guys, they are out there. Your people, your crew, you need those people. Some of my bestest friends are the scariest friends for me. One of my bestest friends in Scentsy, she freaking kills numbers. She is actually on here today, but she kills it. Sarah and I probably have night and day different lives and do different things. And she says how much she works, and I'm like, I need to work more. I need to do more. Find people that bring you joy and be with them. And the more you're with them, you guys, I got 2 recruits this month, 100%, because of what Sarah has told me over and over and over and over, like 1,000,000 times. But it brings me joy to be with her. And it also brings me joy of what comes out of our friendship. Getting involved in things that you feel that passionate about. My sister-in-law is passionate about dogs. Lost dogs, rescue dogs, all the dogs, save the dogs. If I were to get involved in that group, not for me. Not that I don't like dogs, but I'm just not passionate about like dogs and rescue and dogs and all that stuff. If I were to go to a cooking class, a wine class, I'm in. But find something that brings you passion and that you're super passionate about, but you cannot do pretend stuff. You've got to have integrity. You've got to be strong on what you love and what you're passionate about. I'm not going to get involved in a dog rescue because I would not be passionate about it, but I'm going to get involved in like a cooking class. Absolutely. So find what brings you passion and do that. Now go out there, make new friends, make new friendships, make new relationships, and get involved in something that's going to bring you joy, and join a group that's going to bring you joy, and do something that you haven't done. If you're sitting back making the excuses like I can't find anyone new to sell to, you need to find these groups. So I hope this helps a whole bunch. I hope that someone heard something that it's going to take you somewhere. I love you all. I hope you find passion about networking like I have, and just go out there and find new groups. Have the best day, you guys.
Thanks, Nikki. That was great.
Bye, friend. Bye, Lisa.
Bye.
Bye, peoples.